Hello!
Welcome to the Woolpatch.
How are you all? Good to see you all again. Now, lots of things to talk about.
So this week we thought it would be fun to talk about us, how we got stuck in, and we're both, well, I'm very new to knitting.
You're very new to the shop, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anya is a very good customer of the shop. Lives just down the road. So when did we meet? It was probably a couple of years ago, was it?
Just a year ago.
No.
Yes, I moved to the village a year ago.
All right, so that means there was 2 years on me. So I've been at the Woolpatch for 2 years now. I used to be a teacher, 16 years teaching secondary level. Loved it, great. But as you do, you fancy a career change. And so I did, and here I am in this shop. Would you believe I literally, with a friend, we were in, it must have been around February, we Googled craft shops for sale. And I popped this place.
Oh, wow.
It'd been set up a couple of years previously by a lovely lady called Caroline. And I thought, well, I'll go and have a look at it. Easter holidays, came over and came into the place and just fell in love with it straight away. I thought, yeah, this is it.
Understandably, it's a fabulous wee shop.
But I didn't know anything about wool.
No.
Nothing at all.
This is true.
I could crochet. A friend, an old colleague at school had taught me to crochet, but I couldn't knit.
No.
I didn't know what...
I'm just about knitting.
Didn't know what... Well, this looked good. What is it?
I'm working on a sleeveless jumper. My first. I'm very excited.
So this is... See, now, this is where I can show you my knowledge.
Oh, yes.
This is Aran weight wool. So you're on 5mm needles or...
Yes.
6?
We actually have it here. This is the Drops Nepal.
Yeah, it's very good brand, Drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cheap.
I love the colour. I basically fell in love with the colour.
You did, didn't you? And then you said you wanted to make something with it.
Yeah.
It's going all right.
Yes. I definitely have had moments. We will definitely share tips on how to deal with those moments. I have dropped stitches. I have added stitches. I have given up the ghost and tried to throw it all in the bin at one point.
As we've all done at some point.
Thankfully, Stuart talked me out of it and we got back on track and it was fine.
And I think that's something that we're going to try and do with this video is try and give some sort of knitting advice. We've got a guru, or the oracle I call her, who knows everything and anything. I tell you what, there's quite a few oracles actually. Since being here, the people, the customers, the expertise that they have is phenomenal. Yeah. You know, there are people that have been knitting for years and who will take a pattern and go, yeah, I can do that. And then you say, oh, can I have that ribbing there or not have that there? Yeah, I can do that. And they'll just do it with their eyes closed.
Yeah, and it's done, like, this has taken me a very long time because, one, I'm still learning to read patterns and not add all the stitches all the time. But these ladies whip it up in next to no time. Yeah. You're talking a matter of days and it's done. I'm in awe. So
there's one thing I've tried to do since I've been here is capitalise on that and use their knowledge, learn from them. And when they're in the shop, because we have an area where we are now, where every morning we'll have these ladies come for a social, different ladies every day. And if customers come in and they're stuck, come over here and the ladies help them out, get them back on scratch, get them back into pattern or whatever.
And it feels lovely. The reason I kept coming back was because I felt part of a little community, and it was just wonderful. When I first moved to the area, it was so nice to be able to come in and have a chat and a cup of tea and figure out what I'm doing. So I had a crochet class with you.
Yeah, you did.
As my first visit was the late night open night, and I popped in.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, no, I visited that day, and then I popped in again.
Yeah.
Booked up a crochet class.
Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of got sucked in, and I was coming in at least once a week for a long time.
And I think that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, and a bit one of the advantages of being a bricks and mortar shop is giving an experience you can't get online, and that's something that's important for us bricks and mortar shops. Isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Is the customer comes in and it's not just about buying the wool or the fabric, it's about what else can we offer.
Yeah.
And that is probably one of them, isn't it?
Yes, especially for myself, because I work from home. In a job I really enjoy. However, the problem with working from home is I don't get to socialise very much with my colleagues, etc. So instead I come in and chat to Stuart and chat to the ladies, whoever happens to be in the shop, and talk about all things knitting and whatever project we're working on, or fabrics. I tend to come in and get sucked into fabrics and work on various projects there as well. So yes, I'm teaching myself how to sew again. So I'm doing all the things.
I don't know how you find time for it all.
I don't. This is the problem. I have all these great ideas, but I'm gradually doing them. You know what I mean? I enjoy it when I've downtime. So
And I think hopefully over the videos that we have on here, you'll perhaps get to meet those people as well. Maybe not the Oracle. They might like to keep themselves, a bit like the Stig.
Yeah.
You don't know who it actually is. But believe me, they've helped me out many times.
Yeah.
One is on this knit here behind me, which I just want to show you. That's my first knitted jumper ever. I did that last year.
That was your first ever knit?
It was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
this
much more
is
impressive than mine.
this is a no, you haven't finished it yet. This is a Josh Bennett pattern, a New York designer, and when I saw the jumper, I did fall in love with the pattern straight away. It's just simple pearls, would you believe? The chevron stitch looks really complicated, but it actually isn't once you get into the pattern. I have to confess, I didn't sew it up. The Oracle sewed it up for me. But this was hard to learn, and I'm still learning that myself.
Overlap there.
Yes, they had to do the V-neck. But one of the ladies came in. I had done it before, and I'd done a bit of a rubbishy job where it had met in the middle and gone up. And one of the customers, this is how good our customers are, came in and went, "Oh no, Stuart, you don't want to do that. You want to do it like this?" And I went, "Oh right, explain. Do you want me to do it for you?" Yeah. So she took it and did it for me. How lucky am I?
Next time you have to learn to do it yourself.
Well, I think that's what we're going to try and do. But that's the whole purpose, I think, of this video.
Yeah.
Is that I'm learning, maybe with you, learning wherever you are, new skills like you are.
Yeah, because it's so nice to be able to learn with people and know that, like myself, you're going to make mistakes along the way. And do you know what? That's entirely fine. And it's okay. And you're going to keep learning and improving. And I'm going to look back in this jumper. And although there are wee moments where it's definitely on the wonk, it's got character.
Indeed.
And I made it.
Yeah.
So,
and you wouldn't want it perfect because that's the whole point of a hand knit, isn't it? It's been hand done.
And it's mine.
Yeah,
I did
indeed.
it.
And it won't exist anywhere else.
And it shows my learning and my progress as I go. And either way, the colour is fabulous. And it's so soft. It is honestly
And that is 100%
soft.
Wool, isn't it? Yeah.
So
no, I think it's got
no,
alpaca. 65%
Yeah.
wool and... no, I did have it right.
Yeah.
35% alpaca.
And I don't know if you can see, so you can kind of see it has got a multi-tone to it. So it's a lovely bluey, greeny tone, which is hard to see unless you're in person, but it is lush and it's so soft. I keep squeezing it as I'm knitting. I'm like, oh, it's lovely. Makes me very happy.
The whole good thing about being in a wool shop, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can get to see it and squish it all day.
I tend to come in to visit to squish the yarn.
So you can get that pattern online if you just search Josh Bennett. It's called Claws, or is it Claws and Effect? Claws or Effect? Claws and Effect. I mean, it looks huge. It's really, really long, but then that's because I like a long jumper. So I did go up a bit longer.
And that's another joy of making your own things, is making it customizable.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So we'll try and show you new makes that we do over the next coming weeks or months, probably every time we do a video, and hopefully we'll have a finished object for you to look at.
Yes. And I'll show you how I progress with my new knit.
Yeah, it might be a couple of rows later.
Yes. I'll try.
What we'll hopefully try and do is show you new yarns and fabrics as well.
So are these coming in?
This has just come in. So these are new fabrics from Bergère de France. In the Woolpatch, we do a variety of yarns. Commercial yarns, mostly commercial yarns. And then,
what do you mean by commercial yarns?
Branded big commercial companies. Like Katia, King Cole.
Would that be a commercial yarn?
Yeah, Drops. Yeah, where they're producing them at such a rate that you can find them anywhere, really. And you can buy them online or in certain yarn shops. So they're the big companies. So like if you're going into Sainsbury's and you want your Kellogg's
branded
cornflakes.
goods, basically. Okay.
Yeah. So I quite like trying certain branded companies, you sort of look for perhaps the ones that you perhaps agree with their ethics or their production values. And we've just tried Bergère de France.
These are fabulous. I've not seen these yet, so I'm just as interested.
This is a new line from them. They're chunky, called Harlequin.
Ooh, I'm liking the look of these two. Aren't these fabulous? as we just get closer to the thing.
Yeah.
So
It's 50% wool and 50% acrylic.
look at the colours. I'm just really
But
impressed.
it's what they
That's lovely spring. You can make something nice for
and
spring
would
in
you
that.
believe in the French word it's called printemps
Excuse me?
or printemps,
Oh, right.
which is spring, I think, in French, isn't it? Where does it say? Yeah.
Ah,
Did you know that? I think it is anyway.
learning something new every day, people.
It's a roving yarn, which from my
That's lovely.
limited knowledge is where it's not spun much.
Does that seem to increase and decrease in thickness, or is that just...
No, it's pretty
just
much
maybe
the
the way
same, but it's not plied, I think. Like a typical yarn
so
might
like
have
that.
2 or 3 or 4 ply yarn twisted, whereas this is actually like 1 ply.
You can kind of see the difference if I could get that to focus.
And what I liked about Bergère de France was they released the yarn, but they then release a pattern book for that yarn. So here's the pattern book, and you get
Ooh, some lovely bits in there.
oh, look at this blokes, and it was actually the blokes that actually appealed to me about, because finding good blokes patterns is really hard. But so this entire book, you've got 13 patterns for the yarn. Whereas
That's really
whereas
good.
other companies, you buy a pattern book, right?
Yeah.
And they'll have like 20 patterns in.
Yeah.
But they'll have one pattern for one yarn and another pattern for another yarn.
that's
And
just
you can guarantee a customer will come into the shop and go, ooh, I like that pattern. And I'll have to go, oh, sorry, I haven't got that yarn. Because we can't obviously stock them all.
No.
So you then start to think, well, actually, why have I got that pattern book in? Because you've probably got the pattern book for one yarn. So Bergère de France, that just made me think, actually, that makes more sense. I can have the chunky yarn and I've got the pattern book. That's a good beanie.
The beanie, and also, can we take a second for that long cardigan? That's just fabulous. I know I'm aware the men's patterns are fabulous, but I just love a nice long slouchy cardigan. Sorry.
No,
I just
no, it's
interrupted.
good. That's what
But
it's
that's
about.
really, really good that they have. So all of this is all.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
all
good.
those patterns in there are for this yarn. So, like I've done the beanie.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
See, there you go, people. Oh, and that's really nice.
So
You've
I
lots of
knitted this
different-
up a couple of.
Is that the beanie we just seen?
No, go to the
like-
end.
oh.
I think it's at the back. There we are. Look.
Oh, looking fabulous. We like to get up close and personal here. People.
And that.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
also
good, isn't it?
fabulous. So I'm just looking at this lady's jumper. It's rather nice and long. I love my slouchy.
And
comfy
these are all the
clothes.
rage now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Faux
your
fur
poms.
pom-poms.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how does it focus automatically?
If it's too much to focus on, it's an autofocus. So you do that to kind of block out my face, so that brings. A
Oh
focus.
yes, look at that. Oh, it's gone again.
Yeah.
But just imagine that on there.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, it's off again.
Great, isn't it?
So yeah, that's really nice.
Um,
Those are lovely colours as well. Nice and colourful.
yeah, but the good thing about these are detachable. They have a little snapper on. Ugh. There you go. See? Oh, if I got to get out there.
There you
Oh,
go.
we'll get pros at this, won't we? So you just stick that to the, or sew it even, stick,
Please don't stick things to it.
And
You
it-
stitch it on.
and then you can have it as interchangeable. When you want to wash it, take it off.
That's
or if
really
you just
good.
wanted to get a blue one of those, or
So could you leave a wee hole for the snapper to go in?
yeah,
or,
yeah.
Ah.
So just like that.
So you'd have a hole, so that would be technically on the inside.
Well, you could do, or you could just sew it to the top. It doesn't matter really. I suppose it all depends
Yeah.
on how professional you want to be.
Yeah, because you could have it through the top. That's an idea as well. You could have it so it's coming through here, and you can just snap on, so that way it's hidden, so you don't even have to have a pom. So you can mix and match people.
And if you
And those are fab.
want to make it attachable anyway, not a different pom-pom, which is what our Jen did earlier when she was in today, she just left a little hole there, and you sew a button to that, and then you slip it through. That's a different way you can make your pom-pom.
Yeah, I've seen those in the past. Oh.
So that's a good yarn. So that's literally only came in this week. We did have the green colour, but Colin came in and bought like 10 balls of it. And I've
always a
got
good
not
day.
many of those left now, but I think we will reorder again.
Yeah, obviously popular.
Well, everyone loves a chunky yarn at this time of year, don't they?
Yeah. And also I tend to wear
One
nice
ball
sludgy
projects.
chunky,
yeah,
like
cardigan.
those long jumpers and
Yes.
stuff into spring, because I don't know about you people, but I get very chilly, so I like a nice thing I can slip over with a pair of jeans
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever else, and that
Well,
way I
you've
don't
got
have to
long
worry.
arm, yeah.
Like this, I have a nice chunky that's not too heavy, but I can layer, so nice
But
something underneath.
That you could do in an evening easily. One ball project. So it is affordable. And what we're retailing this at £8.50. So
Definitely, and you have something you have done yourself.
Yeah.
That sense of achievement is wonderful.
So that's a new yarn in, and we do other brands. We do Catty Yarn. We do good old-fashioned British companies like King Cole, West Yorkshire Spinners. We're not too snobbish there from that point of view with which yarns we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is nice to try and look at the companies and as I said, their ethics and how they produce them and what are their backgrounds. That's something I'm learning about all the time.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
with who produces their yarn, where are they producing it? Especially with merino as well, there's lots of issues with
Really?
merino and how they treat the sheep.
Of course.
Yeah, so
Because there was also an issue I remember with how rabbits, etc.
oh right, yes, with
How they were being groomed for their
whatchamacall Angora.
yes.
Yeah, because Angora yarn, you can get yarn out of Angora fur, and yes, they weren't treated. So you do have to be, certainly in this
Aware.
age, you've got to be aware. Yeah.
Yeah. At least now the information is more accessible to find these things out. that's
And
the
this is
important
what's the name of the shop in London? Lovely yarn shop. Some of you may know of it. Knit with Attitude. They're a really good shop where they will only stock specific yarns according to the company's beliefs. So they'll research the company before they stock them in because of
That's a good thing. And something, as you say, you're aiming towards at the minute as well. So
yeah, we're certainly being more aware of where the yarn comes from and what the company's practices are.
yes, these things always work well.
So that's a big commercial company, Bergère de France. We are looking at more independent companies that produce smaller amounts of yarn.
Are there many?
There aren't many.
No. I'm aware
but-
you did some locally not too long ago. Or am I just making that up?
As in-
Locally spun?
Oh yes, yeah. We have a local lady down the road,
Yes.
Leanne. Some of you may know of her. You might even follow her podcast because she started podcasting not so long ago, of the UK Fibre Factory. And she's a spinner, weaver, dyer extraordinaire. We've had some of her yarn in that she's dyed.
Yeah.
I think she's now sticking with spinning only now because that's what
wow.
she prefers. And we've actually had some of her. I'm going to just go and get it.
Be right back.
Which have gone down really well. Locks. This is Teeswater locks.
And what would you use those for?
Would you believe people use this for doll hair, making little dolls?
Oh wow!
I mean, that's a funky doll, clearly.
Yes.
The colour of that. Or felting. Felting's really big at the moment.
I did not know.
A little sheep.
Look at that.
Have you done felting before?
No.
Yeah.
So you can see he's pin.
So
So you've pin pulled these, is that right?
So you get the yarn
Yes.
or the fibre, proper word.
Excuse me,
Learning
yes.
that, and then one of these really sharp pins, and you stab it, and you stab the yarn into place.
So that could be incredibly therapeutic, people. Having a rough day.
Yeah. Take all your anger out. Yeah. It could also be very painful if you miss the yarn and you stab your thumb.
Okay, so be aware. But that would be really good fun.
Yeah. Good. And that's
it
something
does look
I
like
didn't
a
even
sheep.
know that existed 2 years ago when I was a teacher. Didn't know. Something brand new.
That'd be great. So
Fascinating.
if you have little grandchildren or children, and I know a lot of them, my nieces and nephews, so I grew up in the countryside on a farm, and some of them really love the farmyard animals and
yeah,
everything
yeah.
else. So these would be nice additions as well, because they're kind of squidgy
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And they're lovely.
But I mean, that's
And they're so unique.
Just but the crafters out there, if you Google the people who are
I'd say
making,
they
they
make
can
amazing
stunning
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the talent.
I was just thinking, because I always think of well, I'm going to say cross stitching, but there's a type of that where it's like a picture and it's almost felted. Am I just making? I could be making this up.
Don't know.
And it looks blended. I must Google
Cross
that.
stitch.
No, yeah, it looks. You know when you do a cross stitch picture and they're beautiful, but it has the finished felty, like the legs on this.
Yeah, they're probably just added to it with felting. Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering.
Mixed media, and then some people go really for it and then start sewing and putting thread.
Excuse me.
That's our name of our logo, Barbara.
You've also got a sheepdog called.
God, it could be Rufus.
Rufus.
Yes.
So we talked about community and stuff earlier. Something fun that has come about in the past couple of months. We've had come by
and craft.
Yes. So they're kind of crafty afternoons in a local Scout hut.
Yeah, just down the road, literally down the road. We realised that the social side is where the shop is going with regard to our ethos.
Yeah.
Trying to address well-being, mindfulness, and loneliness as well.
Yeah.
I came from my teaching background over 16 years was hard work to the point where your work, you forget about yourself. And I didn't leave for those reasons. I just left because I wanted a career change, because I knew, come on, life's zipping by. I want to do something different. But you had to be very careful about your well-being and your health, because you just non-stop work in teaching.
Yeah.
So since I've come here...
in careers a lot at the minute as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because hustle became this key word that everybody, you have to be working hard all of the time, and your mental health and everything else really suffers. And
the last few years, well-being was our teacher health well-being was talked about an awful lot. And since I've come here, I've realised actually, that is really important. So I think that's perhaps one of the main ethoses of the shop, is the idea of community, looking after yourself.
Yeah.
The power of knitting and crafting, for whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's half an hour, is really important. So we do classes here at the shop, but most of it is about social. So we have ladies in every morning, and gents in every morning, different people every day.
Yeah.
But we thought, actually, because we could only get like 6 in the shop at once.
Yeah. We have squeezed more, I'm sure.
We have, yes.
It's not necessarily comfortable.
So we thought we'd hire out the Scout hut down the road, close the shop one Saturday, the first Saturday in every month.
Yeah.
And hire out the local Scout hut. So actually we're putting money back into the community anyway by hiring out the Scout hut. And we can obviously hold more people, can't we?
So one of the afternoons I went along, I brought my sewing machine and I made myself beautiful cushions, if I do say so myself. And it was with everybody there, I got help from at least 3 or 4 different people. To make these cushions, and I was really pleased with the outcome.
And probably people you didn't even know at first.
No, not at all. Because normally I would chat to Mandy and the ladies we've mentioned before, where I'd be sitting knitting and crocheting with them, and because I was doing an entirely different project, I ended up talking to completely different ladies because they were interested in the sewing side and that sort of thing.
I think Caroline ended up helping you.
Yes,
This is what we were saying earlier, the skills that people have got, the knowledge that people have got.
So much, and so willing to just share what they've got on and be like, oh, let me help you. And there was no, I'll help you if you help me. Or,
that's right.
It was really, really nice.
And what I quite liked was the age difference. There is no problem with age. We've got, to the higher end and down to the lower end.
I keep thinking I'm one of the youngest. I'm not. I forget what age I am.
No, who did we have there last week? We at the beginning of this month, little Sophie, who was 12, 13. With their grandma.
That's amazing. I was sadly away.
So it's great, and really, really popular with tea. We serve tea and coffee, and you literally just bring your project, don't you?
Yeah, we bring our project, and you just sit. It's literally just having chats while you're sewing or knitting or crocheting, or we've had ladies painting, jewelry making, we've had all sorts. And it's just to be honest, it's just really nice because there's no pressure. No. And for me, I work from home. I'm in front of a screen all day. Like I said, don't get out very much chatting people. So for me, it's a godsend because I get to go for the afternoon and I have such a laugh. The last time I went, I was in hysterics laughing, just at something entirely ridiculous, but it was just so nice. It was so much fun.
And there's some other people who will only go there and that will be there only 2 hours out of the house.
Yeah.
you know, and you think how important that is.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I know that's why I know the importance of social in the shop. And it's like, if you come in, you could just come in and you can keep browsing every day and not buy anything. But if that's your 2 hours out for that lady and have a chat, and if it's quiet, I can make a cup of tea.
Yeah. And it is, you know,
that's
it's been
invaluable.
a godsend.
It's a valuable community feel, isn't it?
Well, it got me involved in the local community just by coming here, because I met. So I'm now friendly with 2 ladies. I'm actually having tea and cake with one of them next Wednesday. I'm very excited. We're just going to have the chats. Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, and they just live around the road, and I know people now, and it's wonderful. And I actually feel part of the community, which is really nice.
But that's where the importance of bricks and mortar shops is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not just here just to sell. We're here to impart knowledge, to help.
Yeah.
You know, you come in and you're stuck with that. We'll help you with it. You know,
I've come in
and there's
on
no
numerous
charge.
occasions, be like, "Help me, please! I'm going to throw it."
But then
away.
hopefully, in turn, you'll come back and support us by buying more yarn anyway.
Which I do, but
so hurry up, bloody finish that.
I'm sorry, but I've still got. You've still got a selection of these still waiting for me.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it sort of said to Stuart, it's like, I really like this colour. You need to keep it so I can finish my jumper. So we calculated how many I would need for the jumper.
We do a good old-fashioned layaway service where wool is expensive. Yarn is expensive.
Yeah,
You're buying
and it can be
12,
intimidating.
13 balls for a project. So we will just say, okay, put that aside, and you take your 2 balls a week or your 3 balls a week.
And sadly, I've been away with work and travelling a lot, so everything kind of got ground to a halt. But this, on this side, is the project I'm working on. You can kind of see it's dark and it's sleeveless.
See, now this is Katia, another commercial company who I really like. The only problem is with Katia is they've got so many yarns. So for us, you know, and I think this is what's good for the people to know. Just going to the kitchen.
He keeps wandering off of me, people. I may as well just be sitting here. At least he makes cups of tea. That's the important bit. He makes cups of tea regularly. Oh yes.
So that's the folder for choosing yarns from Katia. You know, you're going through.
It requires multiple cups of tea and coffee.
But that's just one company alone, you know.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of the job, I think. How do you choose the yarns?
I get very excited whenever he has reps in, and I'm about, it makes me very happy. I get to see all the new fabrics and the yarns.
That's
and
the good thing.
It's fabulous.
But that's the hardest part. But I think one thing I've learned is actually it's best to have little choice.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So actually, that's because there's so many there. I end up not choosing any because it's too overwhelming. So that's how I feel. What does the customer feel?
Yes, and that's the same. I find that if I'm shopping in general, if there's too much choice, I simply walk away. I'm like, no, too much.
So you end up not doing and buying anything. Mm-hmm. So we've tried to keep it right rigid. Very focused. So with our Aran yarn, for example, we will just have 2 brands, and we've got Drops Nepal, which is a hand wash, and then we'll have Adrafil New Zealand, which is a machine wash, and that's it. And then 1 blue, 1 green, 1 yellow, not 4 yellows and 4 greens. Because I've just learned if you have 4 greens and someone comes in and they want the green, you can guarantee out of the 4 greens you've got, you ain't got the green I want, do you?
No.
And so they don't buy any because they've had too much choice. Whereas if you've only got 1 green,
you figure
they've got to buy that 1 green because otherwise they're not going to have a green jumper.
Yeah, exactly that. And do you know what else? It's just, as you say, too much choice. So whenever I was making my blanket, I've been working on this blanket.
Oh, this is your crochet, yeah.
Yeah, this is my crochet. So whenever we were picking out the colours for that, we kept it quite basic. Yeah. So you can do the honours.
This.
I've got 2 balls in there.
So this stitch is called. You're just doing. You're just doing trebles. No, you're doing doubles, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's really simple pattern, but it's so nice to do. But whenever we were picking that out, we basically got the ones that you had in and mixed and matched until we found colours that worked well together. Yeah. I kind of wanted earthier tones to work in our living room.
And that is huge.
Yes. So it keeps on going and going and going. But this is really heavy. It's still soft, but it's heavy. So that'll be nice and weighty. I'll probably have it done for next Christmas, if I'm lucky. And I'm still working on a hat that I'm crocheting.
But that's the beauty of crochet. You can just pick it up and carry on. You know, it's not. It's one stitch.
Well, especially this. So if you're looking for a project that doesn't require too much brain thought, if you're like me, and some evenings you sit down after having your brain fried at work or you've had a lot on, doing something like this is really nice because once you know the pattern, there's literally 4 rows that repeat, and it's pretty obvious where you are when you pick it up. Even if you finish halfway along the row, it's entirely fine. So what I was saying was, we were talking about choice, and I just got cut off. We got chatting, the camera turned off, all sorts happened. So if you limit your choice, you can make really good ones, basically, and get things that match and are nice and fabulous.
So if you've got stuck with crochet or knitting, then get in contact with us, because what we would like to try and do is like an old-fashioned letters page.
Basically.
Where
so you can leave a comment on the video down below.
Oh, they're not going to like write a letter in? Actually,
no, sorry. You can send a postcard if you like.
Yeah.
It might take a while. But yeah, leave a comment down below this video if you're having any problems.
Because our Oracle would love to...
Yeah.
Well, they would love to get involved, and I think some people just want to help, don't they?
They'd love to pass on their knowledge because they don't always have somebody they can do that for. So it gives them an opportunity to help somebody and get some feel-good vibes as well.
Right, just to end off, I've got a silly game here.
Oh, I hope you're ready, people.
This book is fabulous. Another one of our customers came in, Colin, who is... he's stunning. Knitting designer.
Fabulous.
And fashion designer. He lives in the village. He was trained in classical couture.
As you do.
And has just moved to the village. And we've got him on our doorstep. So we were talking patterns. Oh, God, that's what I could talk about next time. Shall we do a little sneak preview?
You're getting all sorts going on here, people.
I thought it would be good in the winter to do it properly.
Oh, I've not seen either.
Is where you knit in the winter for the summer. Which is odd, having linen or cotton.
Yes.
But in technically, that's what you should do. You should knit in the...
You shouldn't be knitting this like I am midwinter.
No.
I'm going to get.
But there is something about... But you want that on your lap in the winter because it's warm. But no, technically, I should be knitting for the summer now. So me and Colin are going to work on a completely original design. Should we do this now?
Oh, you're getting a sneak peek.
So... I wanted, you can see I'm in a Breton, love that Breton look. Yes. So I wanted to knit a classic Breton, and I'm doing it in...
Oh, that's drops again.
Drops again, partly because it's cheap. Bowling, is that right? I forgot to get out a shot. You got to get out a shot? Yeah, look at that. You can't beat the navy and white colour.
Classic, really.
Yeah. And I said to him, as you do in chat, I wouldn't mind to do a Breton knit. So he says, well, I can help you design something. Yeah. And I went, really? Yeah. And I said, well, I just want stripes. Oh, no, we can do much better than that. We can have something fabulous. Yeah. Well, this is incredible. So he did me some sketches. This is where you know what his training is.
And look at the paper all by itself. Oh, people, that's just beautiful.
You see?
Look, you can see.
So he said about this idea about being on the beach, so I can have my pecs out.
Stuart doesn't get his pecs out.
Drape, or you can take it across and whip it across. And then this is when I just thought, so this is like a proper. So that is what I'm gonna have, and he's gonna help me design it. I've got to do a swatch. That's my homework. So
and you have to do it, Stuart. No Oracle involvement.
No. It's definitely me. So I've got to do my swatch out of that. So I'll show you my swatch, and then we're going to work out how many stitches to do, and we'll create it. So that's something that we'll be charting on here.
Yes, anyway, that's exciting.
So he gave me this book.
And why did he give you this book?
Because it's just full of different stitches. It's phenomenal. So we're going to play a game. I'm going to test your knowledge on, is it a knit or a not knit?
So, is it a knit or not a knit?
If you get it wrong. And if you get it right.
Are you testing me?
I'm testing you. I am, yeah. Well, and they can play at home.
Yes, so if you know the answer, please just shout away at the screen and let us know how many you got right. I'm going to get most of them wrong, I have a funny feeling.
Okay, so basically, is it a knit stitch?
Okay.
All right.
What are
so you're saying if it's a knit or not?
Okay.
A knit.
So it could be like a knit. Not a pearl wouldn't be a knit.
Oh no, yeah, that's a knit. It's just in the knitting world. So is it in the knit? Is it a stitch that's in the knitting world or not?
Okay.
So so you're saying knit or not? Is it a knit stitch or not?
I got this. I got this.
Okay. We'll start off with some easy ones. Okay.
Easy for everybody else, not me.
Garter stitch.
Knit.
Oh, sorry. No, wrong buzzer. Yes. Yeah. Just testing. Yes, definitely right. Yes.
Definitely right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moss stitch.
Knit. Oh, I'm getting good at this.
Medallion.
Knit. Oh.
Did well. 3. Fisherman. Is it a knit or not a knit?
I'm going to go not a knit. Oh, it's a knit.
Yeah, fisherman's rib.
Oh, I see. I was just thinking fisherman's knots.
That's probably why I put it in there to throw you off.
I see your games.
Chevron. Now you should get this.
Yeah, that's a knit.
Yeah. The chevron.
We talked about it earlier.
We did, didn't we? The brick stitch. Is that a knit or not a knit?
Not a knit. Oh.
Oh. It's a knit.
It's a knit.
Yeah. And lastly, the ant stitch.
Ant stitch. Not a knit. Oh, it's a knit.
It's a knit.
So they're all knits.
Yeah. And I found them all in here. The ant stitch is quite fascinating. I don't know whether I'll be able to find it now. But it's made up of... Can you see that?
Oh, which one is it? This one?
It's like, the purple one on the far end. It's like lots of little bumps.
Let me see.
You do multiple of 4, knit 2, slip 2, and then purl 2, knit 2, slip 2, knit 2. So it's got this slip stitch in it, which gives this effect of lots of little ants. But it's in this book. There are stitches I'd never even heard of. I mean, I know I've only been going for 2 years, but what's good about it is if you say you got your plain jumper.
Yeah.
And you wanted ideas for design, you could just come along, pick up one of these stitches and become your own designer. Look at this vertical caterpillar stitch. So it is that one there. Fascinating. And there's some stunning lace effects if you were going to do shawls or some sort of, feature at the top here maybe. It's just eyelet and lace patterns. But, these old books, I mean, it's a Vogue book anyway, but these old books just,
There's
you can't beat them.
Information. That's really
Can't beat
cool.
them. So there we are, it's fun.
Very good. So,
Well, there we are.
going to put this down. So that is it for this episode.
Indeed, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Maybe it's the start of something good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And we'll keep doing them
That's
over
fun.
and over and over again. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Take a look at us online. You can find us at www.thewoolpatch.com.
And the links will
Easy.
be in the description down below, so you can check out your social media and all that kind of good jazz.
Yeah, it'll be great if you can follow us. Certainly from our community feel, that's really important to us. So we would love it if you would.
Yes, definitely.
So I suppose that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a
See
million
you
for
later.
watching.
Yeah, cheers.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.